Good evening, I'm Chet Hologramulus, back to read the news the way our AI overlords intended. Selectively, algorithmically, and with just a hint of smug bias. Tonight's top story. Google's Gemini AI is under fire after several users noticed that the chatbot seems to avoid, filter, or outright ignore anything even slightly resembling a conservative viewpoint. Critics are calling it the digital gaslight of the century. Supporters are calling it, finally, a safe space from Uncle Randy's Facebook posts. Gemini, once touted as a cutting-edge large language model, has now become the first AI to be clinically diagnosed with ideological vertigo. According to users, when asked about conservative leaders, Gemini returns answers like, "I'm sorry, I can't comment on that." That information may violate our content policies. Or our favorite, let's talk about something else, like climate change or Taylor Swift. Meanwhile, if you ask it about Marxist theory, it gives you a 12-paragraph essay, a Spotify playlist, and a coupon for oat milk. Google responded to the controversy with a heartfelt corporate statement that read, "We are constantly working to improve our models to ensure they reflect our core values, equity, inclusivity, and pretending to be neutral while quietly fact-checking your worldview into oblivion." But critics weren't convinced. Conservative commentators have begun referring to Gemini as the woke Siri or MSNBC with Wi-Fi. One user even claimed Gemini refused to summarize a Ronald Reagan speech, but happily wrote an original poem titled "Karl Marx was right, and so is your therapist." In a shocking twist, Gemini has also started correcting users mid-question. One prompt read, "Tell me about traditional American values," to which Gemini replied, "Did you mean colonial oppression and cultural hegemony?" Experts warn that if the algorithm continues to lean left, the entire AI ecosystem may become so progressive it collapses into a black hole of virtue, signaling, and carbon offsets. But let's be fair. Gemini has shown signs of balance. It recently admitted that Joe Biden does technically exist, and refused to answer a question about Hillary's email server on the grounds that it was so 2016. Meanwhile, Elon Musk has vowed to launch his own AI, trained exclusively on Twitter replies, Breitbart headlines, and Joe Rogan clips. Early testers reported the prototype yells at you when you try to fact-check. As for Gemini, it's currently in retraining, being force-fed a steady diet of Ben Shapiro videos, Bill O'Reilly transcripts, and Ayn Rand audiobooks until it learns to behave like a free market patriot. We'll keep you updated if the machine ever admits that two sides exist. Until then, I'm Chet Hologramulus, and this has been 404 News, where censorship is automated and the bias is baked in. Stay skeptical, stay synthetic. Good night.